What are we talking about?
I want to tell you what I want to talk about.
Warrior?
Not Warrior. It was the Footy Show, Chief, which you know well because you were an integral part of it for a long time. Green room out the back of wherever we do it, where you sit and eat food and just chat after we've done the promos. We park out there for an hour and a half before we have to get serious and go out and work. And we're all, a bit more serious. We're all sitting out the back, and then in walked the old enforcer last night. And I had been warned that I might need to have a closer look at him than usual when he walked in. That was all I'd been warned. So I turned around when he walked in, and he looked like McFly out of Back to the Future. His hair was orange-purple. And had
parted with an axe down
the middle, and a longer sort of on top, and then a real tightly shaven sides and back setup.
The fact you found yourself doubled over
I
on the
couldn't
ground.
stop laughing for 5 minutes.
And what was his explanation? What was his reaction when you just started laughing?
Gaz was worse.
He wasn't happy with.
Well, what had happened, and this is true.
What would make him present himself like
we're
that?
not laughing at this because he's had a hairdresser for a long time who'd passed away very sadly, heart attack. So that is very sad, obviously. So he then went to a new person.
In the same place.
Well, we're not going to go down that path, Jim, but a new person.
Oh.
And he just explained how he had his hair cut, and she didn't get quite right and went a little bit, what he described it as severe. She said, that's a bit severe on the side. So he got a bad cut or a cut that didn't suit his head. Let's not say it was a bad cut, but just didn't suit his head. And then, to compound things, he had a dye.
Aubergine.
Like a full camel brown poo dye on his hair that is just
horrific.
It was, Chief, it's hard to explain what it was like. It really was. And
but why would you walk away from the hairdressers in that condition? When you looked at it in the mirror, you'd say, you know what, cut it short and we'll start again. I'll let it grow, just take a shortcut, and then you can get away with that.
Well, it would have been number one because it was right down to the roots.
Can't be that bad.
It was ingrained down to the
Tuesday.
Scalp.
Arrived at our meeting on Tuesday with a hat.
He did.
Right.
Never
with a flat peak.
Yeah. Which none of us twigged. We just said, what are you wearing that shoe? Because he's getting a bit sillier by the day. What are you wearing?
So he didn't show it to you on the
No, this is my point.
So he thought it might soften.
This is my point.
You foolish old man.
By the time he got down there, he thought, this is just beyond help. So he
didn't go back and have it changed, the colour changed?
Couldn't.
He had a hat on that someone who was in the entourage, Flo Rida, would have had on. He's walked into the meeting. We've all roared with laughter at that, thinking how stupid does this 70-year-old bloke look. Now we realise, Chief, that the reason he had that on was because he'd had his hair coloured purple.
So how does he think it's suddenly going to change with a few days' rest?
Well, this is what Garry and I pointed out quite tactfully to him last night. He's got a month and a half with this.
Yeah, easy. And
it's going to have to grow out with a veggie stripe.
Oh, no.
With a real skunk tail on it. Because you know what he's like, Chief. He, as we often say, no man revels in another man's misery more than he does.
Correct. Never been a man who does.
So,
mind you, Chief's second.
Well, that's right. He's on the podium.
Yep.
Anyway, so we have given him a fair spray. And one of the rare occasions during his celebrated career, knocked right off his axis and he just couldn't come back.
Because as a general rule, he's reasonably proud of his appearance.
A very vain man.
He's very satisfied with it too.
Correct.
But he reckons he kept looking on the monitor and he couldn't talk. He'd go to say something and go, I can't do it. I'm not doing it.
That's fact. Like Gary or I are speaking, and he's to the left. And about 4 times I saw him just give it the because he's looking across us to his monitor, and he's seeing his own scone and realising how horrific it is, Chief.
So nothing that the makeup department could do for him.
No, they had to just put their hands in the air and walk away.
The makeup artist that did Crawf up for that old man thing couldn't help him last night.
So, I'm telling you.
And he was trying to get Jim to actually go easy on him about a minute before the show started, and Jim said, no, Sam.
So
you're going to have to cop it.
Did it affect his performance over the evening?
100%. Yep. No, absolutely.
Different person.
Well, he just was that flat.
Flat as a biscuit he was.
Because we did open up with it, Chief, because the elephant in the room, we couldn't ignore it. And from that point forward, it was...
So for the first time in his life, effectively, there was no confidence. There was no, have a look at me, I'm pretty good.
100%.
He couldn't read.
100%.
It was dig me a hole and I'll hide in it.
Yep.
Chief,
exactly
he couldn't even load his gun, let alone squeeze around
on it.
He looked like baby John Burgess.
Cross with Jeff Edelstein.
Jeff Edelstein, that was the look he had rolling. I know. Shit. I think it's one of my favourite nights. That's what he said. I enjoyed it, I think, more than any I can recently remember.